Welcome to the Power Up Podcast. Here we ignite your potential and fuel your journey to greatness. With your host, the one and only Rob Bentavegna. With years of expertise in health, fitness, and life coaching, he is here to be your guide, your motivator, and your biggest cheerleader. Get ready to unleash your inner power as we embark on this transformative journey together. So sit back, buckle up, and let's light that fire within. This is not just a podcast, it's an experience. So let's do this.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Power Up Podcast and the first official episode that is video recorded. I've been wanting to do this since I started the podcast a few months back, and I finally decided that it's time to turn on the camera. It's time to put a face to a voice, and you guys can actually see what I look like. Other than if you follow me on social media, you know what I look like. But in this case, we're going to start recording each and every episode with video. So to get us started, as we always do on the Power Up Podcast, if you are not a religious listener, is I always start the episode off with a motivational quote that kind of sets the pace for the episode and what we're going to be talking about. So I have my phone here, as I always do, so we're going to take a look and see what we have. Oh, it's a good one. Freedom lies in being bold. That's by Robert Frost. It's a great quote. It's probably one of my favorites, something that I now live by as not only a business owner, but just as a person now. I was never someone who took risks. I was never somebody who would take that leap of faith often. It was very, very rare that I would do that unless I knew for a fact that there was going to be progress or a reward on the other side of that leap that I took. And today's episode is going to be kind of inspired by a conversation I had with a friend of mine who I actually went to college with. Oh, God, I've been out of college for 7 years now, I think it is. I can't even tell you 100%. But I had a conversation with him not too long ago because he went to school for something that, in at least what I thought, he would have made a lot of money doing when he came out of school. And come to find out, he's making good money, but he's not making as much as he thought he was going to. And here I am, and by no means am I off the wall successful, but I'm doing well for myself, and it's because I decided to take a different route. So we were talking about this, and it's kind of funny because I was also watching Joe Rogan's podcast a couple days ago, and he had on one of my favorite people in the world. He had on Joey Diaz, who is a comedian and an actor, and he is just hysterical. And I was listening to their interview, and they were talking about college debt and like credit card debt. And the episode's pretty old at this point. It's probably, I'm thinking it's probably 3 to 5 months old by this point. And they were talking about credit card debt and student loan debt. And the student loan debt thing that they were talking about was like hit the nail on the head true about how you truly will never get out of it if you really think about it. If you have so much money in debt, regardless if it's credit card, personal debt, student loan debt, whatever debt you're in, it's very, very hard to get out of it unless a big chunk of money comes into your life at some point. So what they were really talking about was how you're never going to get out of it. That's basically the point of that, is like you're never going to get out of that student loan debt unless you're able to come across a big chunk of money that you can just throw into the debt that you have, and it breaks it down or it gets rid of it and all. And that's what we were talking about, because I came, and I'm open, I don't care. I came out of school with about $25,000 to $30,000, about $30,000 in debt. And that's, in reality, it's not a lot of money. It's really not, compared to what some other people have and what other people have obtained over the years of doing college. I know a lot of people that are 70, 80, 90, over $100,000 in debt, depending on what they did for their schooling or what they were going for when they went to college. And the thing with that is, I only had about $30,000 in debt when I came out. Now, granted, I only did 2 years at a 4-year college. So, and then I came home and I went to I just finished my degree here at home for way less money. Because I had this, I didn't think I was ever going to use my degree, because I knew down the road what I wanted to do, which was, actually, that's not true. That's not 100% true. I didn't necessarily know I wanted to be an entrepreneur or a business owner, but I got a lot of inspirations around me that brought that to the forefront, and I said maybe that is what I want to do in life, is be my own boss. And I didn't need a degree for that. You don't need a degree to be your own boss. So I just thought I'm not even gonna worry about the debt thing because I'm not gonna use it. But I still came out with about $30,000 in debt. And in the first couple years of me opening my businesses and doing the things I'm doing, I was able to pay that debt almost off. I have about $5,000 left that I have to pay off, and then I'm free of my student loan debt. Now, the whole point of this is that, and it goes back to the quote. Now, that's what I'm saying. When I read the quote, there is a point to it. So you may be watching, going, "Why are we talking about finance? Why are we talking about business and money and whatever?" But it goes back to for the motivational aspect of the Power Up podcast, we have to get back into the motivational part. So, but freedom is found in being bold. So the freedom aspect is what I'm talking about, of being free of debt, being free of the chains that hold you, being free of the weights that constantly are in the back of your mind or on your shoulders of debt, things you have to pay off, things that are coming down the pike as far as monthly payments and things that you want to be free of, right? You want to be free of the debts. So my point of that is, be bold. If you have debt, if you have things that you want to get out of, you may have to be bold in order to pay them off faster, get rid of those chains sooner. You may have to be bold in doing that. So whatever that looks like for you, as far as being bold, that's the difference. So whether being bold is opening a business and being your own boss and making your own income, or getting a side hustle going while you also are working that 9 to 5 where you're making X amount of dollars, but when you come home, that doesn't mean you sit on the couch and watch TV. You start your side hustle, and all that side hustle money gets put into paying down that debt. It's really the biggest two options that I see that would definitely have the benefit of paying down those debts and freeing you of those chains a lot sooner. So in true Power Up podcast fashion, we're going to try to keep the episodes short and sweet, and we're going to try to keep them around like 10, 12, 15 minutes max, unless I have an interview going. But I didn't want to start off the first videoed episode as like a trailer, because the Power Up podcast has been going on for a few months now. So there's I think I have 27 episodes now. So we're getting there. But I didn't want to start the first video one as an introduction to the Power Up podcast, because it's boring. We want to get right into it and let you guys know who I am and what I do. So, but that's going to wrap up today's episode. So if you have those debts, if you have those chains that bind you as far as money and things that are holding you back, figure out a way to break that chain and become free, meaning get a side hustle going after your 9 to 5, or start your own business, and you could still do that while working at a 9 to 5. You just may have to work a little bit harder each and every day, as we all do. So I love you all. We'll see you all tomorrow for the next episode. See you then.
Thanks for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Power Up podcast. Remember, the journey to greatness is within your reach, and you have the power to make it happen. If you're ready to take your life to the next level and want personalized support along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to Rob about his life coaching services. All of his contact information is available in the description of the show. Trust me, reaching out could be the best decision you ever make. Until next time, keep powering up and pursuing your dreams with passion and purpose. See you soon.